Okay, so I'm making red velvet cake. So the first step is to take all the dry ingredients and sift them. So I have my sifter. And I'm going to measure out 2.5 cups of flour. Let me get my knife. One. Oops. Making a little bit of a mess. So this cake is traditional in my family. A little bit more. There we go. And always level off the extra. So that's 2. And we need 1/2 cup. Here we go. Right here. 1/2 cup. So that's 2.5 cups of cake flour. Let's move the cake flour out the way. We're gonna put 1.5 cups of sugar. And put this back in here. So now we're gonna measure out sugar. So that's the 1/2 cup. And we're going to put 1 cup. Okay, and we're going to start to sift. I'm going to add in the rest of the dry ingredients. I have to sift some of it down. So we're going to put in 1 teaspoon of cocoa butter. So let's get the teaspoon. So 1 teaspoon. Teaspoon and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, and that's all of the dry ingredients. I'm going to continue to sift those ingredients. I'm going to shake it a little bit because that helps it sift faster. Put all the dry ingredients in my mixer, and now I'm going to add in all of my wet ingredients. So we're going to put in 1.5 cups of oil, of vegetable oil. One. This is what makes the cake really moist. So 1.5 cups of vegetable oil. We're going to put in a teaspoon of white vinegar. go get the buttermilk and eggs. So we're putting in 2 eggs. 1, 2 eggs. We're gonna put in 1 cup of buttermilk. So we're gonna 1 cup. I'm gonna also put in 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So I got some good vanilla, some pure vanilla. Don't use that imitation stuff, y'all. Your cake ain't gonna come out right. All right, got 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. You're going to put in 1 bottle of red food coloring. 1 fluid ounce. You need the whole bottle. So I'm going to put the whole bottle of red food coloring in there. So let's just go over the ingredients. We had the 2.5 cups of cake flour, 1.5 cups of sugar, 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1.5 cups of oil, 1 cup of buttermilk, 1 teaspoon of vinegar, 2 eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and we're going to mix them all together until the dried ingredients that let's make that slow. Just gonna mix it all together. Take our scraper in there a little bit. Let's turn it off for a minute. Let's get down in the bottom and on the sides so it mixes really good. We're gonna let it mix for about a minute or 2. I've made a mess. Gonna have to do a little straightening. So I'm going to be making cupcakes. These are going to work with me. So I'm going to pour the mix. Try not to make too much of a mess. I'm trying. Okay, so I'm about to make the icing. So we got 1 stick of butter, 1, I believe this is 8 ounces of cream cheese, teaspoon of vanilla. Mixing, 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 mixing. And we have a box. I think this is 16 ounces of confectioner's sugar. We're going to add that in little by little so it'll mix properly. Let that mix all the way up. So I've mixed it together, and I have some pecans, but some people don't like pecans, so I'm going to just sprinkle them on top. So I've already iced the cupcakes, which you can see back here, but I also made a cake, a sheet cake too, so I'm going to ice in that. So yeah, see, we're gonna get the icing off the paddle, as much of it as we can. And I'm going to ice in the sheet cake now, and then I'm going to sprinkle some of the pecans on about a half of the cake. So a frost cake, and I'm going to sprinkle some pecans on the majority of the cake. So everybody doesn't like pecans. I do. You know what? Whoever don't like pecans, they're gonna be out of luck. I changed my mind. So, finished cake.